you. I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you.
That's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later.
And what would happen seconds later is the reason that thousands of Americans will take to the streets today to protest the cold-blooded murder of Renee Good at the hands of ICE agent Jonathan Ross. In our featured story today, Corey Lewandowski's main squeeze took to CNN to boldface, to Mar-a-Lago face. Well, either way, to kind of lie like a rug on CNN's State of the Union with Jake Tapper. But it was the follow-up guest, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, who blasted Noem by invoking something we rarely see from Trump's goon squad, an unflinching reality check. Wait till you see it. It's great. Welcome to Occupy Democrats. And please click the subscribe button if you think that the Secretary of Homeland Security takes her inspiration from this guy. In our breaking story today, Jake Tapper, well, he had a busy morning over on CNN. And we have the highlights of the ongoing national debate, is seeing really believing. Stick around and see for yourself. Especially check out our great response. It's our featured clip from Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey to this garish exercise in ducking and dodging. And while we're at it, let's not forget about the Epstein files.
Those are law enforcement officers being physically attacked. By this standard, would any of those officers be justified in shooting and killing the people causing them physical harm?
Every single situation is going to rely on the situation those officers are on. But they know that when people are putting hands on them, when they are using weapons against them, when they are physically harming them, that they have the authority to arrest those individuals.
The president pardoned every single one of those people.
And make sure that they're getting justice for their actions going forward.
President Trump pardoned every single one of those people.
And every single one of these investigations comes in the full context of the situation on the ground. And that's one thing that President Trump has been so focused on, is making sure that when we're out there, we don't pick and choose which situations are and which laws are enforced and which ones aren't. Every single one of them is being enforced under the Trump administration, and the clarity of the law stands. And if people don't like it, these members of Congress and elected officials should go change the law and make sure they have that debate and policy change.
I just showed you video of people attacking law enforcement officers. Undisputed proof, undisputed evidence. And I just said President Trump pardoned all of them. And you said that President Trump is enforcing all the laws equally. It's just not true. There's a different standard for law enforcement officials being attacked if they're being attacked by Trump supporters. We just saw that.
This individual and these instances and these investigations all have to be taken and done correctly in context of every situation that is happening on the ground. So what we are doing today as the Department of Homeland Security is out there with our law enforcement officers, making sure that we're targeting the worst of the worst and that we're talking factually about each situation and making sure that we're bringing those perpetuators of violence back to justice.
You've also been criticized for your comments. The shooting, we should note, was Wednesday at 10:37 a.m. Eastern. Just over 2 hours later, the Department of Homeland Security put out a statement definitively asserting what had happened, defending the ICE agent, accusing Renee Good of domestic terrorism. That's a characterization that you reiterated in a press conference half an hour later. Now, Republican Senator Tom Tillis said, quote, "It was very unusual to have a senior law enforcement official to draw a conclusion about an event where the scene was still being processed. Generally speaking, law enforcement would recognize that a life was lost, that families are changed forever, the shooter's life will change forever. We're collecting video, we're trying to assess the situation." Why did you not wait for an investigation before making your comments?
Well, everything that I've said has been proven to be factual and the truth. This administration wants to operate in transparency. I have the responsibility as the Secretary of Homeland Security to know this information as soon as possible. Had just been in Minneapolis the day before, had already had conversations with officers on the ground and supervisors, and knew the facts, and decided that the department and the people of this country deserve to know the truth of the situation of what had unfolded in Minneapolis.
But with all due respect, Secretary, the first thing you said was, quote, "What happened was our ICE officers were out in an enforcement action. They got stuck in the snow." Correct. Because of the adverse weather that is in Minneapolis. They were attempting to push out their vehicle, and a woman attacked them and those surrounding them and attempted to run them over and ram them with her vehicle. That's not what happened. We all saw what happened.
It absolutely is what happened. Those officers had been out in enforcement action. A vehicle had been stuck. They had come to help get that vehicle out. That's when this individual started blocking traffic for minutes and
You
minutes
said that the
before
woman
this
attacked them and surrounded them and attempted to run them over and ram them with her vehicle.
Blocked the road for a long time and was yelling at them and impeding a federal law enforcement investigation.
I'm just waiting for the investigation to come through. I'm wondering if you're not doing a disservice to the officer by reaching a conclusion before the investigation takes place.
I haven't heard you say once what a disservice it's done for Mayor Fry to get up and to tell ICE to get the F out of his city, and AOC to stand up before she had any of the facts and call this officer a murderer. For individuals, well, call them out, Jake. Spend as much time calling them out.
Okay.
I have provided you with facts and information to back up every single word that we have said and every single part of this investigation. And if you don't like it, that's fine. But we're going to continue to do the right thing to keep the American people safe. I know that you'd like to make me the topic of this and not what happened, but I did ask a Democratic senator just a few minutes ago about AOC's comments, and I don't actually even know what you're talking about when I ask questions as if like that's an assertion. It's a question. How can you make a conclusion before an investigation? And there really isn't an answer other than you saw the video.
Wow. I think I know what those enhanced lips are actually full of. Now, moments after that, Jake Tapper had Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry on to address the Trump-infused double-standard doublespeak that we just witnessed. Mr. Mayor, take it away.
That was some wild and crazy stuff. It sounds like she doesn't believe a single word that she is saying right now. And I don't know if Donald Trump was drinking a glass of water, if she'd actually be able to speak, because here's the thing, she's calling Minneapolis like this dystopian hellhole. You know how many shootings we've had so far this year? 2, and one of them was ICE. 2 shootings in a large city so far this entire year, and one of them is ICE. This is a safe city. ICE and Kristi, Noem, and everything they're doing is making it far less safe.
I want you to respond to what she said about you telling ICE to get the F out. She says you and the leaders in Minneapolis have been demonizing ICE officers. And it is true that you've been critical of Secretary Noem for her quick characterization of the incident. But you also said on Wednesday, quote, this was a federal agent recklessly using power that resulted in somebody dying. Does your rhetoric need to change?
Yeah, I said this was a federal agent recklessly using power that ended up in somebody dying, because that was a federal agent recklessly using power that ended up in somebody dying. It's exactly what happened. I mean, am I biased in this? Of course, and I'm biased because I got 2 eyes. Anybody can see these videos. Anybody can see that this victim is not a domestic terrorist. I mean, my goodness, she's like doing a 3 or a 4 or 5 point turn. This looks like somebody that's trying to get out of there. If doing a 3 point turn or a 4 point turn is a domestic terrorist, and my wife is a criminal every single day, it does not make sense. We've got to be operating from a point of course, have this investigation. It should be a neutral, unbiased investigation where you get the facts, you know. And by the way, I shouldn't be the one conducting the investigation, nor should Kristi Noem. But you should have an entity that is able to do it with some common sense and operating in reality.
Man, oh man. Well, you know, since we strongly believe that seeing is believing, here at Occupy Democrats, let's end today with a lighthearted look at the real difference between us and them.
Hey!